My assigned topic is all about Article 24, which is education. 1. State parties shall ensure an inclusive education system at all levels and lifelong learning to A. The full development of human potential and sense of dignity and self-worth, and the strengthening of respect for human rights, fundamental freedoms, and human diversity. This article states that the person with disability shall fully develop the human potential and the sense of dignity that they have. Also, they can strengthen the respect of human rights with the help of education. B. The development of persons with disabilities of their personality, talent, and creativity, as well as their mental and physical activities to their fullest potential. So, this article can help the persons with disabilities to develop their personality as a person, whether they are disabled or not. Also, they can show their talents to other people and they can showcase their ability to draw or etc. to showcase their creativity in making things even though they are disabled. C. Enabling persons with disabilities to present effectively in free society. And last, this article states that persons with disability enable to participate or join any activities in their society that fit to their situation. 2. State parties shall ensure that A. Persons with disabilities are not excluded from general education system on the basis of disabilities and not excluded from free and compulsory primary education or from secondary education on the basis of disability. In this article, state parties states that a person with disabilities are not excluded to general education that they want in their education system. Also, children with disabilities are not excluded to free and compulsory primary education or even in the secondary education because as a person or parents of the disabled person, we must check or ensure that the basis of teaching disability is properly delivered. Persons with disabilities can access an inclusive, quality, and free primary education and secondary education on an equal with others in the communities in which they live. So, persons with disabilities can access quality and free primary education and secondary education that have equal basis for their learning because the ability of teaching to the disabled person is properly delivered. C. Reasonable accommodation of the individual's requirements is provided. D. Persons with disabilities receive the supports required within the general education system to facilitate their effective education. In this article, persons with disabilities can receive an award or support required in their general education system to facilitate if their learning is effective or not. E. Effective individualized support measures are provided in environments that maximize academic and social development consistent with the goal of full inclusion. In this article, state parties states that the support of the individual measures are provided in academic and social development of a person so that they can achieve the goal that they want. this end, state parties shall take appropriate measures, including facilitating the learning of alternative modes, means, and formats of communication and orientation and mobility skills, facilitating peer support and mentoring. So, facilitating the mobility skills of a person that is disabled is very important because it is where we can know if they learn that kind of lesson or not, and facilitating the peer to support and monitoring them. B. Facilitating the learning of a sign language and promotion of linguistic identity of the deaf community. So, they facilitate the learning of sign language of the person if they learn it easily or not, especially the deaf person. C. Ensuring that the education of person, and in particular children who are blind, deaf, or deaf-blind, is delivered in the most appropriate language and modes and means of communication for individual and in environment which maximize academic and social development. This article ensures that the learning of a person with disability is properly delivered and they delivered the appropriate language to them in order for them to learn easily. In order to help ensure the realization of this right, state parties shall take appropriate measures to employ teachers, including teachers with disabilities who are qualified in sign language, and to train professional and staff who work at all levels of education. This article ensure that the realization of this right take appropriate measurements to employ teachers, especially teachers with disabilities. They employ the teachers that are qualified in teaching a sign language so that they can easily teach the disabled person. 5. State parties shall ensure that the person with disabilities are able to access general tertiary education, vocational training, adult education, and lifelong learning without discrimination and on an equal basis with others. And lastly, this article states that persons with disabilities are able to access general tertiary education, vocational education without discrimination that can hurt them. Because even though they are persons with disabilities, they are need to access education in their life so that they can achieve their goals and ambition in their life.